The peace deal in the Middle East has suffered a big setback. Just a week after the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas was signed, bombs again began to fall in Gaza. Israel carried out more than 20 airstrikes on Sunday alone. One local journalist called the attack, quote, significant and extensive. The bombings came after Israel claimed that Hamas had repeatedly violated the terms of the ceasefire. The Israeli Defense Forces say the terror group fired an anti-tank missile and gunfire aimed at IDF troops in the southern city of Rafah. Hamas leadership denied any knowledge of such clashes. Hamas also reportedly attacked a rival militia that it says is being funded by Israel and are looting aid trucks in an effort to undermine Hamas's authority in the region. Now, Israel had previously halted aid because of what it said were violations to the peace deal. Trump administration officials, including chief negotiators Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner, spoke with Israeli representatives after word of the airstrikes was reported, and they urged Israel to, quote, respond proportionally and show restraint. Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic Socialist, believed by some to be an example of a new national movement on the left, is ahead in the race to be the mayor here in the biggest city in America, despite the fact that he seems to be stumbling into one controversy after another. His latest campaign faux pas was taking a photo with a controversial imam. Siraj Wahaj is a 75-year-old Muslim leader in Brooklyn who's considered by many to be an unindicted co-conspirator in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. In the early 2000s, he urged followers to participate in gun-free jihad and march through the city of New York. But his more recent scandal concerns the LGBTQ community. He once called on his followers to intimidate them into becoming straight and joining Islam. He also referenced Muhammad directing the murder of homosexuals, but stopped short of suggesting his followers follow in the prophet's footsteps. Wahaj called homosexuality the, quote, disease of society. Meanwhile, one of the other candidates, Republican Curtis Sliwa, caught the ire of none other than his own party's leader, President Trump. Here he is on Fox News Sunday.
Is he really a Republican? Am I a big fan? This isn't exactly ideal where he wants to make Gracie Mansion a home for the cats.
Okay, if you're confused here, Sliwa's wife is very involved in rescuing and fostering cats. The couple once had as many as 17 cats themselves. It's believed they now have about 6. Now, I love cats. I'm a cat mom, but that is a lot of cats. And when pressed further, the president said he still wasn't sure if he would make any endorsements in the race. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announced on Sunday that the U.S. hit yet another boat traveling what he said was a well-known drug trafficking route. 3 people allegedly involved with a Colombian terror group were killed. Now, the news comes as President Trump announced that he's cutting off all subsidies to that very country and called the Colombian president, Gustavo Petro, a, quote, illegal drug leader. Now, the war of words between the two leaders began when Petro accused the U.S. of murdering Colombian citizens who were drifting in a boat in the Caribbean on September 15th. The Trump administration says that boat was full of narco-terrorists moving drugs from Venezuela to the U.S. Then, in an ex-post over the weekend, Petro refuted that claim, writing the Colombian boat was adrift and had its distress signal up due to an engine failure. Petro said it was simply a fishing boat and not one used for drug trafficking. Now, according to the website foreignassistance.gov, the United States has sent $207 million of aid to Colombia so far this year. Now, Trump claimed on Truth Social that the drug trade is, quote, the biggest business in Colombia by far, and Petro does nothing to stop it despite large-scale payments and subsidies from the USA. So far, the Trump administration has publicly announced 7 attacks on what it says are drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean since the beginning of September.
For more on this story and everything else you could possibly want to know, check out the New York Post in print or online. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the New York POSTcast wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. You'll be glad you did.